Hello and welcome to this Against the Storm tutorial on the Recipes panel. As I mentioned in the introductory tutorial, this series will be covering all aspects of the gameplay, all of the various features and mechanics of the game. However, with the game still being in early access, some of these aspects may be altered slightly or greatly throughout the development period. When that happens, I plan to provide some kind of update, either with an updated tutorial video or at a minimum as a pinned comment. With that said, let's get started. The recipes panel I saved from the previous tutorial on crafting and recipes because it is a lot more in-depth and very specific use case. I considered making it all part of the same tutorial, but then I thought that the use is different and therefore the tutorial should be different. The recipes panel is found by clicking this button here, recipes panel T, or pressing the T shortcut key, and you can also access it when you're in any of these other four windows by clicking on the tab, such as this. The recipes panel has a few key components. Along the left side, you have a category filter. These categories match the categories of across the top here, plus all. On the top, you have the search box, and you have the toggle between product and ingredient, and you have the toggle to show all recipes, or by default, leaving it unchecked shows just the recipes you can make in the current settlement. Here in the central panel is the list of the recipes based on the selection here and also based on the selection here. As you can see, switching to ingredient shows you all of the recipes that you can make with a specific ingredient. Switching to product shows you all of the recipes you can produce, all the items you can produce with the recipes you have. Also here on the right side is the ability to save and load recipe limits from settlement to settlement. You can also enable auto-loading in the settings menu, as the tooltip implies or states there. This way you can set your default limits that you'd like to see for most of your recipes, and then those limits will carry forward from settlement to settlement, saving you time in setting these limits. These panels, beyond that, are similar to the panels you might see in a specific building. For example, the water skins we have in the supplier building. The supplier produces the water skins using leather. So let's check this so we can use the tooltips. Leather, and then either oil or meat, and produces water skins. The quantities are all shown here. And here you can also see the star level. You can see the production limit that's global, as well as the specific production limit for this building. Now, what might be more clear is picking a recipe that is producible in two different buildings. Here you can see that both recipes are shown. We have a summary. The summary here shows that we have one 2-star recipe, one 0-star base recipe. We can see that we have the supplier enabled and the crude workstation disabled for this recipe. For this particular item, we can either provide 8 wood or 5 wood to produce 2 planks. So obviously the 2-star recipe is better. It's also faster, given that this one takes 25 seconds and this one takes 34 seconds. We can also set the limits individually on each recipe for each building. And if you do not override with this little lock, if the lock is locked, the limit for a building is set to the global limit. If you switch to the ingredient, we could find the same type of thing by going to wood. And then we can see we have 2 plank recipes, again, here, as well as there are other recipes that use wood. In this case, jerky uses wood as fuel. So we can make the jerky either at the butcher or at the field kitchen for these star values, these ingredient quantities, and from here we discover that we do not have the field kitchen built. So we can click the build button and it will immediately put the field condition in our cursor to make it built, so that you can build it. If you use the filters here on the side to choose a category, only the recipes that match that category will be shown. If you decide to search for a category, or search for a recipe, you can type that in, and you can see all the recipes in the game that produce that item. This concludes the tutorial on the recipe panel. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me in the comments or on Discord, which you can find the link in the description below. Let me know also if you have any suggestions for the tutorials, if you think I missed something that I should have included here, or any other information. Also, take a look at the other tutorials in this series, as well as the concurrently running Let's Play series, which I consider to be a tutorial in a Let's Play, where I am going over a lot of the same information, but in a more practical hands-on setting, rather than this tutorial which is focused and targeted. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.